On a rainy March afternoon in 2015, amidst the calm of a small town in Oregon, I, Jack Taylor, a 29-year-old freelance journalist, found myself pondering the unexpected turns of my life. The pursuit of stories had become my passion and profession, yet it had also distanced me from the loved ones, plunging me into a solitude that only the clattering of keys seemed to fill. Amidst this routine, I found solace in a lesser-known online community, Whispers in the Dark, where people shared secrets and stories they would never dare to speak aloud. It was in this forgotten corner of the internet that I met Anna, a librarian from Portland, whose free spirit contrasted with the stillness of her profession. She had a thirst for adventure only quenched by books and those late-night conversations with us. Our chats, initially casual, grew deeper, until we became confidants, revealing fears and dreams we didn't even know we had. The connection we forged was palpable, even separated by the coldness of our screens. However, what began as an escape from reality soon turned into a plot worthy of a thriller when Anna revealed a secret that would change our lives. She suspected that her neighbor, a middle-aged man named Michael, had a dark side. According to Anna, Michael spent hours in the basement, and recently, she had begun to hear strange noises coming from his house at night. Driven by journalistic curiosity and an impulse to protect Anna, I began to discreetly investigate Michael. My interest in Whispers in the Dark gained a new purpose: to uncover who this man living next to Anna was. As I delved deeper into this investigation, I discovered that Michael frequented online forums discussing methods and stories of espionage and surveillance. His posts revealed advanced technical knowledge and an obsession with secretly monitoring others' lives. These findings were alarming, but nothing prepared me for what came next. Using a small camera I gave her to feel safer, Anna captured images of Michael transporting suspicious equipment into his house. This evidence was the catalyst for more direct action. With the help of contacts in the police, I obtained authorization to investigate Michael more closely. The climax of this story occurred one early morning when, armed with a camera and a recorder, I infiltrated Michael's basement. What I found there surpassed all my journalistic expectations: an improvised studio, filled with monitors and recordings documenting the private lives of dozens of people in the city, including Anna. The exposure of this invasion of privacy led to Michael's arrest and a heated debate about security and privacy in the digital age. While Michael faced justice, Anna and I, united by this surreal experience, began to explore the possibility of a life together, away from the dark secrets that initially brought us together. This chapter of my life, though it began in shadows, brought to light a genuine human connection and with it, a new sense of purpose to my journey. In a dark alley of a forgotten city, my hands trembled as I typed on the worn keyboard of my old laptop. My name is Caleb, and my obsession with the darkest corners of the internet had finally led me to a point of no return. The night was silent, except for the distant sound of sirens and the occasional bark of a lonely dog. The cold air filled the small room where I hid, a place few would dare to call home. My discovery began with rumors of an underground group live-streaming torture and murders, a concept so macabre it drew the attention of the curious and disturbed. Those who, like me, ventured into the depths of the dark web in search of something that defied human comprehension. But what I found was beyond the darkest imagination. The promised broadcast was purportedly revenge against captured fighters of a tyrannical state. A cruel spectacle designed to satisfy the morbid desire for distorted justice of its viewers. The countdown to the event created a sickening anticipation, a thirst for blood that spread like wildfire through the dark forums of the internet. Yet, as the moment approached, a sense of doubt began to creep in. The promises of a relentless execution began to seem more like a macabre theater than a tangible reality. It was then that the truth began to unravel, revealing layers of deceit and manipulation that permeate the darkest corners of society. In the midst of my search, I found Alice, an Australian journalist who had dedicated her life to debunking the myths and legends of the dark web. She told me about the so-called red rooms, spaces where, according to rumors, live murders were broadcasted to a paying audience. Alice argued that despite her extensive research, she had never found concrete evidence of such broadcasts. The stories, she said, were nothing more than urban legends fueled by collective imagination and fear. My communication with Alice became an anchor in a sea of uncertainties. Together, we began to investigate deeper, uncovering layers of falsehood that shrouded the true nature of what we sought. What began as a supposedly real broadcast quickly unraveled into an elaborate hoax, a perverse game of cat and mouse designed to lure the unwary. In the end, the supposed live broadcast proved to be nothing more than a grotesque spectacle of manipulation. Instead of an execution, what followed was a bizarre act of forced feeding, a mockery of the justice they promised to serve. The true face of the event was a distorted reflection of the society that allowed such fantasies to flourish in the shadows. In this world of shadows, the line between reality and fiction became increasingly blurred. The search for truth led us down paths that questioned the very nature of humanity and justice. In our journey, we learned that the most terrible monsters are those that inhabit the human imagination and that the quest for redemption can lead to the deepest abysses. On a chilly November night, I, Ethan Harris, found myself alone in my Seattle apartment, immersed in darkness both literal and figurative. My life had taken a monotonous and solitary turn since moving here in search of work. A programmer by profession and passion, I had a fascination for exploring the hidden corners of the internet. That's how, driven by a mix of curiosity and boredom, I ended up delving into the dark web. That night, I stumbled upon a forum promising to reveal humanity's darkest secrets. Initially, I browsed as a mere observer, reading stories ranging from intriguing to deeply disturbing. However, my passivity ended when I found a link to a site promising a unique and immersive experience. Driven by the insatiable curiosity that had always guided my life, I clicked without hesitation. What followed was a live stream that seemed like something out of a nightmare. A dark camera revealed a dimly lit room where a hooded figure spoke directly to the camera, promising a spectacle that was not for the faint of heart. At first, I thought it was a macabre performance, but as the event unfolded, the sinister reality became undeniably clear. The hooded figure began revealing intimate details about random people, details that only an intimate stalker or skilled hacker could know. Terrified, I tried to disconnect, but a message appeared on the screen: "Ethan, do you really think you can just leave like that?" My heart froze. Someone on the dark web knew who I was. In a panic, I closed the laptop and backed away, trying to convince myself it was just a coincidence, or perhaps a cheap trick to scare visitors. In the following days, I tried to forget what I had seen, but a feeling of being watched consumed me. I began to notice small anomalies, electronic devices malfunctioning, fleeting shadows at the edge of my vision, and muffled footsteps outside my apartment late at night. A week after that night, I received a package with no sender. Inside was a single sheet of paper with a message: "The darkness you sought on the web has found its way to your door. Beware of the shadows, Ethan." No other object, no other sign of who might have sent it. From that day on, my life became a constant state of vigilance and fear. I changed my routines, upgraded my security systems, and tried to convince myself it could be just a tasteless prank. But the truth is, since that foray into the dark web, a shadow seems to have settled over my life, a shadow that I fear I will never escape from. Now, I share my story as a warning. There are horrors on the dark web that are best left unexplored, for once you see them, they may start looking back at you. My work as a mystery fiction writer often led me to explore dark themes, but nothing prepared me for the disturbing reality of the dark web. In search of inspiration, I decided to browse this digital underworld, a territory known for its stories that challenged the bounds of imagination and morality. I found a site that seemed to be a collection of narratives darker than any fiction I had ever written. Stories of inexplicable disappearances, black markets trading the unimaginable, and deadly psychological games. It was as if every click dragged me deeper into an abyss from which I couldn't, or didn't want to, escape. Then I stumbled upon a link to a page promising the true terror experience. Driven by a mixture of morbid curiosity and arrogance, I thought nothing there could really scare me. I clicked. What opened was a live chat room, where an animated avatar promised to reveal to viewers the darkest secrets they dared to know. Intrigued, I remained as an anonymous observer, until a message specifically addressed to me appeared. "Lucas, are you ready to see what lurks behind the curtain?" My heart stopped. How did they know my name? It was impossible. I had taken all precautions, used VPNs, browsed anonymously. Despite the fear, curiosity won, and I typed a hesitant yes. The screen darkened for a moment before revealing a live stream from a camera that seemed to be inside a house, my house. The camera moved slowly, exploring every corner of my studio, every detail of my private life exposed. Then, it focused on me, sitting in front of the computer, reflecting the image of my own expression of terror on the screen. Desperate, I tried to shut down the computer, but it didn't respond. The avatar's voice echoed, mocking, promising that the show was just beginning. In a panic, I ripped out the power cable, plunging my apartment into darkness. In the following days, paranoia consumed me. Every sound, every shadow, made me jump in fear. Encrypted messages began to appear on my phone, on my social networks, in my email inbox, all hinting that I had opened the door to something I couldn't hide from. The police said they couldn't do much without concrete evidence. My friends tried to convince me it was just a tasteless prank, but I knew the truth was much more sinister. I had seen the gaze of the one watching me through the camera, a gaze that promised not to be the last. Today, I live in constant anxiety that, at any moment, the terror I found on the dark web will come for me. I write this account not only as a confession but as a warning. There are worlds in the depths of the internet that are best left unexplored, for once you witness the true face of terror, it never stops looking at you. What started as a simple research for a college assignment quickly turned into an obsession. I had heard about the dark web, a hidden part of the internet that couldn't be accessed through common search engines. They said it was a place where everything could be bought and sold, from confidential information to much more sinister items. My decision to access it was the beginning of a terrifying journey. With some research and a bit of hesitation, I downloaded a special browser required to access the dark web. The initial feeling was one of fascination. It was like stepping into a completely different world, full of secrets and mysteries. At first, I browsed out of curiosity, looking at sites selling rare items, and even black markets. But my curiosity soon led me to darker places. One day, while exploring, I stumbled upon a forum that seemed dedicated to horror content and real macabre events. The stories and images were disturbing, but something kept me from looking away. That's when I received a private message. Someone, identifying themselves only as The Observer, said they had something that might interest me. Against my better judgment, I replied. The Observer asked for my address, promising to send something that would prove the true nature of horror. I knew it was a terrible idea, but curiosity won out. 2 days later, a small package with no sender arrived at my door. Inside, there was a USB drive and a simple note, "Watch alone." That night, alone at home, I plugged the USB drive into my computer. What I saw haunts me to this day. They were videos of people being subjected to indescribable acts of violence, each one seeming more real and horrifying than the last. I couldn't watch for long before tearing out the USB drive and destroying it. In the following days, I felt like I was being watched. Enigmatic messages began to appear in my email and on my social networks, all hinting that The Observer knew a lot about me. Photos taken from outside my house, at different times of the day, were sent to me with the caption, "We are always watching." The situation became unbearable. I was paranoid, afraid to leave the house and afraid to be alone. Finally, I decided to contact the police. They took my case seriously but warned me about the dangers of the dark web and how difficult it was to track someone down there. After months of investigation, the messages and the feeling of being watched subsided. I never found out who The Observer was or what they really wanted from me. What I do know is that my curiosity about the dark web was satisfied, and I will never return to that terrifying place. Since then, I've tried to live my life as normally as possible, but the shadows of that experience still haunt me. I learned the hard way that there are places on the internet that should remain unexplored. Hello everyone, I sincerely hope you found today's video enjoyable and engaging. If you appreciated the content and are eager to discover more similar material, please remember to subscribe to our channel and click the like button on this video. Your support plays a significant role in our ability to continue producing content and means a lot to us. I'm also looking forward to hearing your thoughts on the video, so please don't hesitate to leave your feedback in the comments section below. Your input is crucial to helping us tailor our content to what you most enjoy watching. Until we meet again, please take care and stay safe. And always remember, it's a joy and an absolute privilege to share these moments with you.